Welcome to Health and Self. My name is Ashley Thayer, and I have to tell you, we have a very special treat. This is a special episode for you today because Valentine's Day is on the horizon, and Valentine's Day is one of my favorite holidays. Whether I'm celebrating with my husband, Reardon, or we're celebrating with the girls, we always try to make, something a little special, a little different than our average weeknight healthy meals. But what we are going to do today, so I'm actually going to make for you a shrimp scampi risotto. And to make it fun for the girls, we're gonna have a little dessert. We're gonna make little strawberry hearts. They are gonna have a little cream cheese filling, but we'll get to that later. Let me tell you what you need for our shrimp scampi risotto. So first of all, for the risotto, you're going to need about a half of a Vidalia onion, 1 clove of I already chopped it up of garlic because risotto is a very hands-on dish. So I've already pre-chopped my onion and pre-chopped my garlic. Then you need 1 cup of arborio rice. Now this is the rice that helps you to create risotto. It has a kind of more of a pillowy texture. It's not as fine as regular rice, but it will absorb the liquid and almost taste like pasta. That's why sometimes people think risotto is actually a pasta, but it's actually a rice grain. And then you will also need 4 cups of chicken broth, but the key to risotto is have your broth heated. So I have this kind of just simmering on low right now, just so it's nice and hot. And then we're gonna use a little bit of wine in our risotto and in our shrimp scampi. For the shrimp scampi, of course, you're gonna need butter, garlic, lemon, shrimp. I have about 1 pound of shrimp. You can do wild caught, you can do farm raised, your choice. And then Parmesan cheese to top it off. So I think we should get started on the risotto because honestly, to be real, it takes the most amount of time. So I have a pot with a lid. It's very important that you have one with a lid. And I'm going to take about a tablespoon of olive oil and I'm going to heat that in my pan. I'm going to turn my pot on, yep. There we go. And I'm going to put it over medium heat. Now you're gonna need about a tablespoon. You can measure this out, or if you have the bottle, my always trick is to tell you to use the cap as your measuring spoon. But we have it in this fancy bottle today. Now, as my oil starts to heat up, I'm going to saute my onion and my garlic. So that's really important that you have it chopped. I also like to use a Vidalia onion. The reasoning is my daughters don't really love onions, honestly. And if you're doing this as kind of like your first date Valentine's Day, or maybe your first Valentine's, stick with a Vidalia because it's not as strong as a traditional white onion or yellow onion. So as my oil starts to heat up, you can see the steam from my broth already going. We're going to saute the onion and garlic till it's translucent, and then we're going to add the arborio rice into it. Now, when you're trying to figure out if your oil is heated, if you start to swirl it around the pan, you're going to see little wave marks, almost kind of like it's coating the pan and it's getting ready. Now, I love risotto. I love making special dishes for Valentine's Day. I like, a lot of times, we'll do steak. We'll do just something different from your everyday dish. But this also doesn't have to take a whole lot of time. So I'm going to go ahead and add my onion in. And then I'm going to also add my garlic in right at the same time. Sometimes you want to spread them out, but it's okay because we're going to actually add the arborio rice in just a little bit, and we're going to actually toast it. So toasting your rice ahead of time is what actually gives the risotto its flavor that you look for. So let me stir that up a little bit so those flavors can start to get together. Put my dishes back here. Like I said, this is a very special episode. I'm excited to come to you. Now, mark your calendars, because season 2 of Health and Self is on its way. It'll debut this spring, May 3rd. Shh, May 3rd. But it will debut in May, in the springtime. So as my onion is starting to heat and cook through, break apart any kind of big chunks if you didn't cut it very finely, or you can chop it more finely if you'd like. I like a rough chop because I feel like it adds a little bit of texture to your risotto. Now that's starting to become translucent. I'm going to go ahead and add my 1 cup of arborio rice. Now traditionally when you're cooking rice is usually, when you're doing long grain, is usually about 1 cup of rice to 2 cups of liquid. But because we're making risotto, actually 1 cup of rice to 4 to 5 cups of liquid. Quite a bit more for sure. You can smell the onions, you can hear the onions. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and add my rice right in. Now the whole idea behind this is we're going to start tossing it. You want the risotto to get toasty. It gets a nice nutty flavor as it toasts. The other thing that you're going to look for, how do you know if your rice is toasted? Well, we don't want it to get brown. The idea is we actually are looking for little itty bitty dots that appear, little white dots that appear in the rice grain. So we're just going to keep stirring this around. Now with risotto, it's really important. You've got to keep your hands on the rice at all times. Well, most of the time. So this is not a set it and forget it dish, but when you're serving a meal for the ones that you love, you know, you can put a little bit more effort into it, and that's okay. You can hear it sizzling away. The garlic and the onion are also infusing the rice to add more flavor. It smells so good already. And we haven't even gotten to the shrimp scampi part yet. Okay, so this is starting to toast up. Now what I am going to do, I'm gonna put my bowl in the sink, and then we're gonna start to add our 4 cups of chicken broth. I pre-measured it, or if you get the carton from the store, 32 ounces equals 4 cups. So grab a ladle, because you want to add it in gradually. As you add the broth in, you're going to stir it, wait for it to evaporate, essentially, and then you add more. Like I said, it's a very hands-on. So I'm going to take 1 ladle. It's okay if you make a little bit of a mess. So you heard the sizzle. My heat is still over medium heat, and you just start stirring until the broth is absorbed into the risotto. Now you could do 2 ladles at a time, just takes a little bit more time for it to absorb. I am actually going to do another one and another one. Eventually I will get this whole pot in here. But so as we're stirring, it creates a creamy texture. A lot of times when you have risotto, a lot of times people think that they add cream or they add a lot of heavy cheeses. You can do that, but remember, this is health and self. So we have a low sodium chicken broth, and that's what's going to give us our creamy texture. Oh, thank you, oven. You're all heated. Thank you. Okay, we need that for a little later. Now we're going to keep stirring, and we're just waiting for it to absorb. So this is what it really looks like on the inside. You can kind of see the liquid, you can see the rice, you can see the onions, and we're just going to keep stirring. And you just keep stirring. It's a good arm workout too. So if you haven't worked out today, make some risotto for your Valentine's. For your galentines, your Valentines, it can be for your significant other. Bring your girlfriends over, open up a bottle of wine. Like I said, we are going to add a dry white wine to this. So I'm going to add another ladle. Now you could do this on a weeknight if you have the time, but I like to save dishes like this for special occasions or for the weekend, like a Sunday night dinner. Risotto is perfect for that. Now I know you're saying, Ashley, what about vegetables? Well, so onion is a vegetable and garlic is a vegetable. However, you will already know. We're going to serve this with a little side salad, a little side spinach with a little lemon and olive oil drizzle on it. So as that's starting to absorb, I'm going to go ahead and get started on the shrimp scampi because eventually the two will combine together. So I have a large skillet here. I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. Thank you. And we are going to melt 2 tablespoons of butter. I know you're like, Ashley, what? You're using butter? Yes. The shrimp scampi is going to be, shared amongst our family of 6. So 2 tablespoons of butter across 6 people, I think we're good to go. Well, really amongst 5, because Mia does not like shrimp. So I'm going to put that in the pan and let that start to melt while I go back to stirring my risotto. Oh, wrong spoon. There we go. Starts to develop almost kind of like a rice pudding, if you will, as it starts to really kind of absorb the chicken broth. And you get that, again, that creamy texture without adding cream. At the tail end, we will add a little Parmesan cheese because it just helps to kind of add to that nutty flavor of risotto, but it is without cream. So we're keeping it nice and healthy, perfect for a health and self Valentine's. Now, do you decorate for Valentine's Day? Valentine's Day is probably one of my favorite holidays to decorate for. Of course, Christmas, number one. My second favorite holiday to decorate for is Easter, and Valentine's Day is my third. So I have decorations galore. You see like a little monogram basket with our last name on it. I have this for every holiday. I have them for Halloween. I also like to decorate for Halloween. Oh, Halloween's up there too. Geez. All right, so maybe Valentine's Day is like my fourth favorite holiday to decorate for. But I am that festive mom that decorates for every holiday. Oh, and when it comes time for birthday season, we really decorate. So that amount of chicken broth has been absorbed. I'm going to go ahead and add another ladle. And you'll see you're actually starting to get little simmer bubbles. That's good because it's starting to cook the rice more and more, and the rice will get tender and tender, more and more tender. My butter's starting to melt in my saute pan. Once it is officially mostly melted, I'm going to add my garlic in. So that way we can start on that scampi. Now when you're making shrimp scampi, the shrimp are actually going to be the last things to go in. Shrimp do not take a long time to cook, and you do not want to overcook shrimp because then they get like a rubbery texture. Okay. So I'm going to let that continue to incorporate, and I'm going to come over here and swirl my butter around the pan so it can start to coat. The chicken broth steam, it's like a facial. And remember, I'm using low sodium. So you'll start to see that you're going to go, Ashley, where are you adding the salt and pepper? Don't worry, we'll add a little bit to finish. But because these dishes, again, we're trying to help make our holidays a little bit healthier. We don't want to add too much salt, as maybe like a risotto from the restaurant would have. Good. Stirring nice. Now, do you have plans for Valentine's Day? Since Valentine's Day is on a Monday, we are going to take kids to practice, because that's what we do in the Thayer household on a weeknight. We take kids to practice. But I'll tell you, DeReard and I have something a little special planned for the girls. We'll get them a little something, and you know, we do it for them. We definitely do the holidays for them. So make them feel special, make them feel loved. And again, I think that's the thing about Valentine's Day, is it's not just for your significant other. It can be for your children. You can celebrate them. It's a holiday of love. You can do your best friends, your girlfriends, your buddies, your poker buddies, whatever it is. You can definitely celebrate Valentine's Day with anyone and everyone. It's about sharing and spreading love. So, all right, I added my garlic into my saute pan, and we're just gonna let that infuse the butter. Now, I have 2 big lemons. Shrimp scampi requires a lot of lemon juice, so we're gonna actually use both of them. Now, you know my trick. You gotta roll your lemon to break up the membranes inside the lemon, and it makes them extra juicy. These are really big lemons from the grocery store, so I am going to use my big orange squeezer. Let's stir some risotto. The other reason why you want to continue to keep stirring this is because you don't want it to stick to the bottom of your pan. Even if you use a non-stick pan, rice can still stick to the bottom. You can hear the garlic starting to sizzle as well. I did not take my stickers off of my lemons. Let's take those off. All right. Cut. Man, that is not a sharp knife. Uh-oh. It's okay. Got another one. There we go. Yep. All right, let me give my risotto another stir here. And I'm actually gonna add one more ladle in before I add my lemon juice to my butter and garlic mixture. Now we'll do two. We're starting to get to the end of our chicken broth. Now my orange squeezer. It is an orange squeezer. It's the color orange and 4 oranges, but because these lemons are so big, we're gonna use this. You squeeze it right into the pan. Oh, you hear the sizzle, sizzle? It smells amazing. Get a nice burst of lemon immediately. Now you could squeeze this into your hand as well to catch the seeds. You can squeeze it right in. The goal is you don't want any seeds. Two more to go. Excellent. And then one more. Lemon juice is so fresh too, because so the beauty is you're adding vitamin C to your shrimp scampi. This much lemon juice is such a great kind of way to boost your immune system on Valentine's Day. All right. Put this in the sink. All right, let's give that a little bit of a stir. Now, if you like your shrimp scampi spicy, you can certainly add red pepper flake to this and you would be good. But my family is a little bit of, they're a little weak when it comes to spices. So I'm going to add most of the rest of this chicken broth. This is absorbing a lot faster. And again, I want it to maintain a creamier texture. And you want to keep stirring because you don't want it to stick. Now that my lemon juice is incorporated with my garlic, I'm going to go ahead and add in my shrimp. I have about a pound of shrimp. I've already peeled, deveined, as well as removed the tails. Now, that is so not like restaurants, better presentation with the tails on. Well, I'm a realist, and if my shrimp are going to be mixed into something, I like the tails off. Makes my life a little bit easier. I'm going to up my power just a tiny bit. Place my bowls in my sink. All right. Give my risotto a stir. Oh yes. So you can see the liquid is actually really starting to incorporate a lot easier and a lot faster now. And partly that is too because we heated the broth ahead of time. If you were doing cold broth, this would take forever. I remember we started with a cup of rice. My little measuring on the side of my pot says we're already up to about almost 4 cups worth of rice. So you definitely get plenty for a meal. All right, I'm going to add my last little bit of broth in. All right, turn this burner off. Thank you. Give that a stir. And let that start to absorb. Now, shrimp, just start moving them around. Shrimp only take about 3 to 4 minutes to cook. Thank goodness. I'm splashing lemon juice everywhere. Now, you need some wine. A dry white wine, preferably. You will need a half a cup in your shrimp scampi and 1 cup in your risotto. But since our shrimp are going to town, I'm going to go ahead and add my half a cup there first. You're saying, Ashley, but you're cooking for kids. Can you add wine? Yes, because the alcohol actually cooks off which is really important. And I got myself a glass, of course, too, because, I mean, come on. Can't have a nice dry white wine and not have a little taste. All right, so my risotto, I'm giving that a good other stir. Again, always hands-on, you know? Keep an eye on it, and then you can come back to your shrimp scampi, move that around a little bit. Now, the great thing about shrimp is that it is low in cholesterol. It's an easy, lean seafood to have, and kind of, again, breaks it up from the norm. Again, moving my shrimp around. You want to get to the point that they look pink and that they're opaque, but you don't want to overcook them. I give myself a little taste. Now I'm going to need about a cup for my risotto. All right, we'll set that off to the side. Okay, this is coming together beautifully. Give my shrimp scampi. So I said we were going to make little strawberry hearts. I got a pint of strawberries for dessert, which is really cool. I also have a cup of cream cheese. I'll show you where that is, but I have it coming up to room temperature. It's really important in order to make the kind of cheesecake filling. You want to make sure that it comes up to room temperature. So it's the little fun things that allow you to, make the holiday special for your loved one, for your children, for yourself. I mean, let's celebrate ourselves on this love-filled holiday. Love yourself. It is so important. So I added my cup of wine, and we're just going to let that continue to simmer. I'm going to place my lid on my risotto the same way you do with rice, and we're going to let that simmer and continue to cook. Now, for our strawberries, this is where the fun's going to begin. Check on my shrimp really quickly before we get started on those strawberries, while we're waiting for the risotto to finish absorbing all of its liquid. Okay, the shrimp are good. I'm going to go ahead and turn them off so that way they don't overcook. Just kind of push that forward a little bit. Now, I have spinach for the side of our shrimp scampi risotto, but let's get to our strawberry hearts. So you will need, like I said, about a cup of softened cream cheese, about a quarter of a cup of powdered sugar, confectioner's sugar. Now I have a whole pint of strawberries. Now let me show you what I did with the strawberries. Actually, let me set this aside for a second. I took each strawberry and I made them into a heart design. And I'll show you how I did that. So like there's one, I have a couple more left in here that I didn't do. So basically I chopped off the bottom and then allows it to stand up. And then you kind of angle in the stem off of it. There we go. Cut off the bottom of this one. And those bottoms don't have to go to waste. You can eat them yourself if you'd like. If the girls were here, they would definitely be all about it. And then take a little spoon and you're just going to kind of hollow them out just a little bit. All right, so there's one. This one I already did. All right, so my strawberries are ready. Again, you can do just a handful if it's just you and one person enjoying your dinner, but I'm gonna eat these. But my girls, I better make the whole pint of strawberries for sure. Okay. We will need a lemon, well, half of a lemon. So that's there. Now, let me grab my bowl back. Take a hand mixer. Have my hand mixer here. Drop your cream cheese in. And then you're going to just dump your powdered sugar right on in. Again, about a quarter of a cup. There you go. Okay. Take your hand mixer and we're just gonna combine this. Now as this starts to combine, I'm gonna take a quick pause and I'm gonna add half of my lemon for, not the whole lemon, just the juice. Maybe with my orange squeezer. To add a little bit of flavor. Cheesecake actually usually always has a little bit of lemon juice in it. All right, there we go. And since I have the other one done, I'm gonna sprinkle this, squeeze this over top of my spinach. Because remember I said we're gonna serve this alongside of our shrimp scampi. All right, there we go. Okay. Check on my risotto. Oh yeah, coming up to a simmer. Looks really good. Nice and creamy, but remember, without the cream. And the shrimp are good, they're about done. All right, so now let's continue to work on these strawberries. Just really quick, mix. All right. I like to get it off of the little things. All right. Now what we're going to do is I have an adorable, look, see, I told you, I love the holidays. I have a little cute little heart plate. Now you can do this one of two ways. You could add your cream cheese to if you have a chef kind of piping bag, you could add it to that if you'd like. I am actually going to add it to a Ziploc baggie. Let's use my cream cheese spoon. Okay. Actually, you know what? Nope. Change my mind. Let's make this easier, right? That's too much fuss. Take your little strawberry spoon that you use to hollow them out, and you're gonna just take a little bit and add it right in there. There we go. 1, 2, buckle my shoe. Okay. Now, of course, you know the Thayer girls are going to want their fair share. So let me do 4 for them, and then I'll make the rest once we finish up. Because I'm going to top these with something really special. Do you love chocolate-covered strawberries on Valentine's Day? Yeah, I do too. Okay, so what we're going to do, come on over here, cream cheese filling. You know what these are? Chocolate sandwich cookies. In a baggie. Give them a quick, beat them up, eat them up. And then we're going to take the cookie crumbles and just sprinkle it right on top. Look at that. So fun. So you got a little chocolate covered strawberry, a little Oreo. I love chocolate sandwich cookies. Oh, those are so fun. Okay. I will continue to assemble these for my crew and for the girls and for DeReardon after we finish our shrimp scampi. So the risotto is looking very good. Okay, so this is really looks amazing. And what we're going to do is we're going to incorporate it with our shrimp scampi mixture. However, before I do that, I'm going to bring that back to a low heat when we go to incorporate. So we're going to put it in the big pan. But first I'm going to cut up some parsley really quickly just to add a little bit of flavor to it, as well as, and I didn't forget, of course, my dry white wine. Fabulous. Okay, I have some parsley here that was growing in my arrow garden. I brought it in to the studio. You You don't need much. About a tablespoon or two. Just give it a quick rough chop. You could even just rip it, just add some flavor. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead, it's about a tablespoon's worth. Add that to my shrimp scampi. And then, let's get rid of this spoon. And now we're gonna start to pour the risotto into the shrimp scampi mixture. Turn that burner off. All right, so move that around a little bit. All right, here we go. So remember, it looks like there's automatically like a sauce on our risotto. Ooh, it's filling up this pan. So at home, I make this in a much bigger pan just because there's a lot of us in our family. All right. So now we're just gonna fold this in. Just folding it in, and then what will we add at the very end? Salt, pepper, and Parmesan cheese. So continue to incorporate, mixing in the lemon, the parsley, the shrimp. Remember the onion and the garlic in the risotto, and that little bit of white wine as well. We're gonna add some Parmesan cheese. This is about a cup. I mean, do it to taste. Do what you feel. It's Valentine's Day. Just dump the whole thing in there. Increase my heat. All right, I think we're ready to go. Remember, I put my lemon juice on my spinach as well, so we can serve this on the side. So yes, you're still getting a vegetable serving. You're getting a fruit serving. Absolutely yummy and delicious. But first, a little fresh cracked pepper. And then a little bit of kosher salt. This looks so delicious. You can see the Parmesan cheese is melting. Oh, I can't wait to have some of that. Now, take a little bit of olive oil and I'm gonna drizzle it over top of the spinach just to kind of finish off our salad. Just a tiny bit. You don't need much. Okay. Are you ready to eat? I know I am. You can add a little salt and pepper as well to your spinach leaves if you'd like. There you go. Fresh cracked pepper, a little salt. And remember, we have the lemon juice and that olive oil. Okay, let's plate. Let's get some plates going. What do you think? Yep, all right. You agreed with me. I know you did at home. All right. Now I'm going to first put some spinach down, my little spinach salad. All right, and then we're going to just go ahead and scoop this up. Oh, I'm gonna get that ladle I had. There we go. That's a little bit better. Because you want some of the sauce, you want the shrimp, you want the parsley. Oh, yes. Mmm. So good. All right, let's grab a fork and let's taste. This is why I do this cooking show. Purely to eat. Ooh. Mmm. Perfect consistency. I think I have a string of cheese on my chin. Perfect consistency, delicious. You can taste the lemon in the shrimp scampi. The risotto is nice and soft. Paired with a little bit of spinach, like lemon salad. Amazing. The parsley adds a little bit of earthiness. Absolutely delicious. Now, dessert. Cheers to you. Oh my goodness. Now, I did use low-fat cream cheese to help cut some of the calories with that lemon juice, a little touch of cookie on top. So delicious. This is a winner Valentine's Day dinner in my book. So I hope you love these recipes. Of course, you know you can always find more on selfsoulspace.com. My name is Ashley Thayer. Happy Valentine's Day to you and all of your loved ones. And remember, season 2 of Health and Self comes back in May. We'll see you next time. Happy Valentine's Day.